All right, let's get into it today. I hope you had a great weekend, a good Lord's Day. I definitely did. And by the way, I just want to thank you again. If you were praying for me, I had a fever and a headache for 7 days straight. And it was pretty brutal a couple of those days, but for the most part, it was tolerable. And this morning I woke up. I haven't taken a fever reducer in more than 24 hours, and no fever, no headache. I feel like I'm good to go. I think I figured out what was going on with me. I think I had viral meningitis. Yeah, that's right. I think I had viral meningitis, which sounds really serious, and I guess sometimes it can be. But from what I understand, you can get viral meningitis from the stomach virus that I had 2 weeks ago. Sometimes after you're done with the stomach virus, you can develop viral meningitis. I think I did. I had all the right symptoms, except for the stiff neck, although yesterday I kind of did have a stiff neck, but today it's fine, so I'm good. And viral meningitis goes away on its own usually, and also usually the recovery is like 7 to 10 days, at least that's what I read online, and yesterday was day 7, today's day 8, and I'm recovered. So, I don't know. But I'm grateful to be back and ready to go. Why don't you guys tell me about this? This is... When I saw this, I laughed for a little too long. Jacob Den Hollander, the husband of Rachel Den Hollander, as you can see, refers to himself as his wife's sidekick. Oh yeah, I'm my wife's sidekick. Even the pagans would laugh at this. This is too funny, man. This is inverted nature, obviously. We get that. We get that. So there's a serious aspect to it as well, but overall it just makes me laugh. Jacob Den Hollander. Yeah, I'm my wife's sidekick. I don't talk about the Den Hollanders that much. If you remember, I was one of the lone voices out in the wilderness that, not the only one, but one of the only ones that appreciated the original cut of the commercial for that movie, By What Standard? The one that when they showed Den Hollander, Rachel Den Hollander, they blurred out her image and said the demonic principalities and the powers and principalities, and everyone freaked out. You're calling her a demon! And everyone was like, and instantly they apologized for that. And I said the original was better. The original was good. I don't know. But in any case, Jacob Den Hollander refers to himself as his wife's sidekick. That is really funny. Now, speaking of wives, my wife is wonderful. And I honestly, I always knew my wife was wonderful, but my wife has actually been away for a few days. She's been away since Friday afternoon. I've been alone with the kids. And man, it is nonstop work. I mean, seriously. I thought I would be able to get a little bit of work done, and I can certainly get a little bit of work done, but it is a lot of work. And I honestly did not realize how just so my wife does certain things, because my kids will let me know when I don't do it right. Like, I don't cut the sandwich the right way, or if I don't put as much peanut butter as mom normally does, or if I do, there's a lot of things that she does just so, and it's just nonstop work. I honestly can't believe I knew my wife was great, but man, I've got a whole new appreciation. God bless you, Brittany. I love you very much. In any case, I'm not your sidekick, though. Yeah, God's here let me make a helper fit for you. She should help you. And Jacob's like, yeah, sure, I'm her sidekick. Oh, these people. Yeah, so let me say this. I just have a couple things to say today. And the main thing I wanted to say today is, if I was Big Eva, I'd be really worried right now. Really worried. And not so much about guys like me. Look, I'm definitely making a lot of waves in Big Eva land and stuff like that. And, to a certain extent, I'm a little bit bombastic on purpose. You know what I mean? Because, to get someone to wake up, sometimes you gotta shake them, right? You gotta shake them. Wake up, dude. This actually happened to my son the other day. He was having a night terror, and I didn't shake him, obviously. You don't shake a kid, but he was just out of control, freaking out. And I just grabbed him really hard. I was like, AJ, wake up, I'm right here. like forcefully, you know what I mean? And he did. He eventually snapped out of it. But like that's like you see like in the cartoons, right? Like when someone's going crazy, right? You slap them in the face, you know, like snap out of it. You know what I mean? Like that's rhetorically, that's something that needs to happen sometimes. So you get a crazy person on YouTube to say a certain things a certain way, and you know people listen and stuff like that. That's kind of necessary, right? But it can't be that all the time. Like there's a place for that, right? Like Jesus was very bombastic at times, right? He picked his spots, and he would say things that were outrageous at times. You know, I think we lose some of that. Like when he calls the Pharisees whitewashed tombs or a brood of vipers or something like that. Like when you hear people in the Bibles use that kind of language, we got to understand that like that had oomph to it, right? Like maybe today, like if you call someone a whitewashed tomb, they're going to look at you like, what are you talking about? It's not going to really have that impact, right? But at the time, that was like a very, that was like a slap in the face rhetorically, right? And so like today, I might say something like, if you believe that, you're brain dead, right? You're brain dead. And that has a little more oomph, right? And maybe if you called someone a whitewashed tomb, it wouldn't really make sense. But if you call someone, I don't know, I don't really know what to say, but you see what I'm saying? Like the language sometimes, but here's what I would be scared of though if I was Big Eva, right? There's a lot of normal people. A lot of normal people who are mild-mannered, who are very winsome, and again, I'm not trying to use that as an insult. There's a time and a place for winsomeness. But they've been noticing more and more the insanity that's been going on with Big Eva, and they're starting to talk about it more. I don't know if you've noticed this, but this Ketajani thing, like people are noticing like, oh, wow, you really do worship black skin. Like, I remember I did a video, kind of bombastic. Again, I'm trying to cause some trouble. I honestly was trying to cause some godly trouble. I think it was called Big Eva Worships Black People or something like that. And, you know, it's intended to be, you know, bombastic. It's intended to get your attention. But I was making a real point there. But you see, nowadays, people are noticing, like you know, like, this Ketajani's like a pretty awful judge. And, like, half of my friends are, like, celebrating her appointment, and they're saying stupid things like, I might disagree with her judicial philosophy, but I celebrate her appointment. That's historic. And it's like, you're brain dead, dude. Like, she's a horrible judge. She doesn't understand the first thing about being a judge. Like, she doesn't understand that she's actually working for the Lord, right? She doesn't understand that there's actually a morality, and there's actually like real morality. It doesn't shift with the times. It's not something she gets to decide on. Like any judge that doesn't understand that you should punish people who murder children is a terrible judge. That's so basic, right? People who murder children, she's like, that's actually, it's good to murder children if you so want to, if you so choose. Like, that's a horrible judge, whether you're white or black, whether you're a male or a female, whether you have dreadlocks, braids, or you have, you know, combed hair looking like, you know, like Johnny Unitas. Like, it doesn't, like, and conservatives, we tend to be pretty consistent with that. Yeah, that white woman, Elena Kagan, horrible judge, right? That Latina lady, Sonia Sotomayor, horrible judge. And you know what? Ketajani, we're seeing people, they're like, we're seeing pastors that are like chanting, doing incantations. Say it with me now. Say it with me now. Ketajani. In the middle of a worship service. Are you guys freaking insane? But people, see, I say it like a crazy person. People are starting to see this and like, you know, guys, you can't celebrate something that God's not happy with this appointment. God's not like, yeah, I know she has no morality, but she's got black skin. This is historic. That God's not saying that. But yet, so why are so many of our friends saying that? And people are starting to, I noticed Andrew T. Walker, which as far as I remember, he's been a pretty loyal kind of Big Eva dude. He's noticing this and he's putting words to this. And it's like, see, a lot of the normies are starting to see how far this has gone. And they're starting to say like, man, we've lost our way. We've lost our way. Guys, if I were Big Eva, I'd be worried about that trend. Because you could always say a guy like me, oh yeah, AD, he's crazy. Just look at him. He doesn't have the right tone. He doesn't have that gospel tone. And it's like, It's not true, but at least you could try it, and for a lot of people, sensitive people, it'll work. But the kind of people that are talking now, a lot of pastors with very pastoral hearts are noticing this with this Ketajani thing. Like, yeah, we've lost our way. We're literally judging according to the flesh. The very thing the Bible tells us not to do, we're doing in this case. It's like, guys, when a judge says it's okay to kill babies, that's not a difference in moral philosophy or judicial philosophy. Her jurisprudence isn't quite right, but I celebrate it. It's like guys, like, that's insane. That's insane. Like, the lives of babies, the judge refuses to protect the lives of babies, but she's got black skin, so yeah, her jurisprudence isn't good, but it's historic. Like, guys, we can't be this brain dead. We can't be this stupid. This is judging according to the flesh. This is not judging according to God's law, and that's people are starting to notice. I don't know, man. I don't know about you. Maybe I'm just seeing certain people, but I think that a lot of people are noticing, a lot of mild-mannered, pastoral hearts, people that typically would not raise a voice for anything are starting to raise their voice about this. Like, man, like, we got people over here chanting Ketajani's name at church. She's kind of a ghoul. She's judgment upon this nation. Ketanji Brown Jackson is judgment upon this nation, just like Elena Kagan was judgment upon this nation, just like Sonia Sotomayor was judgment upon this nation, just like Ruth Bader Ginsburg was judgment upon this nation. By the way, this goes for a lot of the conservative judges as well. Roberts, judgment upon this nation. God's judging our nation so completely, and there's no help coming from the normal places. Our help is coming, but it's not going to look like a lot of people think it's going to look. And so, if I were Big Eva, I'd be worried. I think that my podcast is going to have a pretty big impact. And, if you notice, my podcast is not like my normal content. It's going to be a little bit more measured and stuff like that. Obviously, it's going to be still me. I have the same personality. But a lot of people, guys, a lot of your friends are starting to look at you like, what in the ERLC is like, I don't believe in her jurisprudence. I can't even pronounce that word. But it's historic. It's like, man, how far we have fallen. By the way, this one I thought was especially funny. Dr. Jamar Tisby, PhD. He's on the case. He's got his books, and he's gonna read them, and he's gonna write, and he's gonna really think hard. It's a PhD. By the way, that means he's really smart. So look what he says. The way some conservative Christians are reacting to Ketanji Brown Jackson's historic appointment are giving strong 2008 vibes when they tried to guilt-trip black Christians for celebrating the election of the first black president. Same with VP Harris. Yeah, I mean, guilty. Barack Obama was a terrible president. Kamala Harris, she'd be a terrible dog catcher. She's obviously a terrible vice president. They're all horrible, right? They're all horrible. Why would we celebrate these things? These are things to mourn. These are things to mourn. Like, when I think about Sonia Sotomayor, being Puerto Rican, and, I don't get any sense of pride from that. If anything, I get shame from that. The Puerto Rican at the highest, court of the land is a disaster. And I want to defend Puerto Rico. Not all Puerto Ricans are like that, right? She's a wicked judge. That's a shame upon Puerto Rico. That's not something to celebrate. That's a shame. Anyway, so Jamar Tisby thinks he's got some tremendous PhD insight here. Yeah, no, that's right. Conservatives tend to judge people according to how they're going to rule and reign and judge rather than their skin color. Yeah, Ketanji's going to be horrible, and no amount of melanin's going to make up for that. Yeah, guilty. You got us. You got us. We're not judging according. Jamar Tisby has shown us his wonderful PhD brain has proven that conservatives are not judging according to the flesh. Wow. You got us on that one, Jamar. Speaking of judging according to the flesh, let's wrap up with this. I have been laughing about this for so long. So this is old news by now, but Bruce Arians, the head coach of the Buccaneers, has retired, and one of the reasons he did it is he wanted his black assistant coach, I guess he's defensive coordinator, to have a great opportunity to succeed. because he's going to have Tom Brady, and he's going to be in a great position to finally succeed. And I think this is so funny. It's being celebrated as like some great diversity move or whatever. And it's just so funny. It's like it buys into that narrative like blacks can only succeed if a white man steps aside and gives him the opportunity. Bruce Arians got his robes on and he said, I will give you the opportunity of a life. Todd Bowles is a horrible coach, by the way. Yeah, and I know that Todd Bowles is a horrible coach because he used to coach the Jets and he was horrible. But this is actually funny because this is going to backfire, obviously, in my opinion. Because this is actually not a good opportunity. Tom Brady almost retired for a reason, and doesn't have what he used to have. He's still good, but he's not the way he used to be. Now everyone's thinking Todd Bowles is in an impossible situation now. It's got to be Super Bowl or bust for him. So Bruce Arians is like, whoa, I'm going to give you an opportunity to see. Really, Bruce Arians dodged a bullet because it's like if he doesn't win a Super Bowl and he's got Tom Brady, the greatest quarterback of all time, Todd Bowles is going to take a lot of that heat. I just don't see how this is a good situation for Todd Bowles because it's like either Super Bowl or you're a failure. Todd Bowles is a failure. He stinks anyway. We all know this. As I'm a Jets fan, I know that he's. By the way, one of the things about Todd Bowles that was so annoying is that he would make these epic, colossal, horrible calls as head coach of the Jets, and then when they would pan to him on the sidelines, there was like no emotion. He always had the same stone face, like I don't know. No matter what was happening, whether it was good, whether it was bad, whether it was crazy, whether it was dumb, whether it was smart, he had the same stone face. Like nothing affected him. It was so frustrating as a Jets fan. But now the Buccaneers have to deal with it. But yeah, this is just so funny. It's like, well, if a white man steps aside, then a black man can get his chance, and now he's got the chance of a lifetime. Dude, I think he's screwed. I think he's screwed. I don't see how this is going to work out for Bowles at all because he's got no margin for error. It's Super Bowl or bust. And then the reality is when Tom Brady actually retires, which he probably will this year, and he doesn't win, I don't think he's going to win the Super Bowl. He's going to retire after not winning the Super Bowl again. Then he's going to have to start from scratch with a brand new quarterback, and it's just going to go downhill from there. Todd Bowles, my heart goes out to him. Actually, no, it doesn't, because Todd Bowles stinks as a head coach. He ruined the Jets. No, he didn't ruin the Jets. The Jets are just a joke anyway. The Jets probably ruined him. Todd Bowles probably was a good coach, but then he coached the Jets. I think that I honestly think the opposite of everyone. That this is like a time. This is a great move for diversity, giving the white man giving the black man an opportunity. That's so messed up, by the way. The whole narrative is so messed up, man. If I knew that I got a job because I was Puerto Rican and like a white man was so proud of himself stepping aside to give me an opportunity, I'd quit. I'd quit right then and there. I cannot look myself in the mirror knowing that. But everyone thinks it's a great opportunity. Like he's going to have a role in a situation where he can succeed. And it's like, by the way, black coaches have succeeded many times in the past. I just don't understand the whole narrative. It's all false. It's so crazy. But anyway, so everyone thinks it's like this great opportunity. I don't think it is. It's like a halfway Tom Brady, and he's going to retire, and then it's just going to be disaster time. It's going to be like the Jets 2.0. But by the way, a lot of people forget that the Buccaneers tend to be pretty horrible. In any case, that's all I got for you today. Hopefully some good videos this week. I got to catch up on regular work too because last week was kind of a wash for that kind of stuff. I hope you found this video helpful. God bless.